Good Sunday morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Aphrodite's child, and in today's video I'm going to do a review on Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker and Women of Troy by Pat Barker. These I did manage to get these on eBay. That one was for £4 and this one was for £12. I did actually own them on paperback. Excuse me, sorry, but I really wanted them on hardback, and they were no longer selling the hardbacks in Waterstones due to as soon as books start being sold in paperback, they discontinue the hardback. So, but I did manage to get them off eBay. I did go searching on Amazon, but they're discontinued. So I did manage to find them secondhand on eBay, except this one was brand new, but this one was secondhand. So luckily, it was a bit of a struggle, but I was able to buy them. So I just thought that we'll start off with her first novel, Silence of the Girls, by Pat Barker. I'll try not to give too much away, just in case you haven't read it. Look, Captain Moody. So, I did actually read all of this, and The Silence of the Girls is actually one of my favourite Greek myth retellings. So basically, The Silence of the Girls is a Greek myth retelling on the Iliad. And it's a story about Briseis and Achilles, who Achilles is fighting against the Trojans, and he takes Briseis in as his bride. And he refuses to fight unless Agamemnon gives him an apology. I thoroughly did enjoy this book. I literally could not put it down. I could not stop reading it. It's one of my favourite Greek myth retellings. I really enjoyed how Pat Barker writes. She really, I don't really have any pet peeves, which some may do, which is fine, you know, when it comes to, because some may like words written differently and things, but I personally didn't have a problem with it. Pat Barker writes. And I think she really told the Greek myth retelling of The Silence of the Girls fantastically. It really got my emotion in a lot of places. I mean, I was literally really, you know, like just swearing at Achilles, be like, you swat, you know, that sort of thing. And then I was like, oh my God, Briseis. I mean, you can't help but feel for Briseis, because obviously Achilles takes her in as his prize, and then you know, then fights with Agamemnon for Briseis, that sort of thing. But he is an absolute twat towards Briseis. In this, you know, a lot of people will say, you know, is Achilles and Patroclus, you know, going out with each other in this book? Not in Pat Barker's Greek myth retelling, there isn't. For the Iliad, they're not together, but they are really close. There is like some sort of speculation whether they are going out. I mean, Achilles is described in the book as having webbed feet in this book, and they really kind of emphasise of his mum being a fish. So the relationship that Achilles has with Patroclus in this, they are just really close. But some do speculate whether they are going out of each other. But there's no like there's nothing like ancient Greek words being said in this book. It is all like in English. So she uses like the word like penis, you know, instead of phallus, you know, that sort of thing. So she generally does use like English words, but the way she writes is just fantastic. She really grips you with so much emotion, and she really does a really good, you know, retelling of the Iliad. And when you finish reading The Silence of the Girls, it leaves you wondering, you know, to how far it could actually be taken, because at the end of Silence of the Girls, Achilles' son comes in, and he's like saying that he wants to take, you know, follow after his father. But the one that's actually carrying the heir to Achilles is Briseis. So I wasn't actually sure to how the women of Troy was actually going to fit in due to how this book ended. So it does leave you question, well, how far can it actually be taken? How far can it actually go? So this is her second novel, The Women of Troy. So this is all spoken from a Briseis perspective. So this is about the Trojan women that were slaves, in the camps of the Greeks, with Agamemnon, Achilles. So this kind of like follows on from this one, and it speaks, of Briseis, and there's more complications happening, there's more terror happening for the women. So there is a lot more that goes on in this. And so it really tells furthermore of Briseis, and a really good follow-on from there. But it does leave you questioning to how far she can take it. So in The Women of Troy, it's all from Briseis' perspective. And, basically, she's speaking about her time, at the camp, and, what everything is like for her now, because now in The Women of Troy, she's carrying Achilles' baby. Because obviously, as a slave to Achilles in the Silence of the Girls, them two slept together, and, he was basically just using her as a bed piece and things like that. So I don't really want to give too much away, just in case you haven't read it, but it follows on, and then when you read Women of Troy, it's like, yeah, there is kind of more where you can actually take this to. So from what I've read of this book so far, because I'm literally on chapter 4 in this one, I've got up to the part where Briseis and Achilles is no more in The Women of Troy, neither is Patroclus. So it's just all on about, Briseis and her carrying the son, the heir, the child of Achilles. So I'm not going to give it any more away, just in case you haven't read it, but it was just basically a quick review, and just in case anyone was interested in reading these books. But I can really, really recommend Silence of the Girls, and from what I've read so far, The Women of Troy. Silence of the Girls is absolutely fantastic. It was one of my favourite Greek myth retellings. I literally could not put that book down, and I probably will be reading it again, later on when I've caught up with more books I need to finish off reading. There are people that say, that, for those that are interested, in studying, Greek mythology and interested in the Greek deities, there are people that say, no, you can't start working with the Greek gods due to the Greek myth retellings. Well, you can, to be honest. There's a lot that kind of people will restrict you from doing. Which is unfair, really, because, obviously Percy Jackson's been inspiring, people to start working with the Greek deities. And, the Greek myth retellings can also inspire you to work with the Greek deities. I think it's a really nice perspective of actually using these as a way to introduce yourself, and getting involved to working with deities, the Greeks. Because it's really good to hear, a retelling of the myth. And so which can help you get involved, in working with the Greek deities, but I know that a lot of people will end up restricting you. Unfortunately, it happens. So anyway, guys, just a quick little review. Just a quick little review, guys. if you do enjoy this video, please give it a like and thumbs up, and do subscribe to my channel if you'd like to hear from me more in the future. And like I say, you can buy these books secondhand on eBay, on eBay for both. Amazon has discontinued them, so it's on eBay. You can buy the paperbacks in your local bookstores like Waterstones. I'm not quite sure on WH Smith, but I know that I bought the paperbacks from Waterstones. They actually did me a pretty good deal, did Waterstones, just for a one-time only. I was interested in this. I asked if they had Silence of the Girls and Women of Troy, and it wasn't like buy one and get the second one half price. So I really wanted the Women of Troy as well. So I asked, oh, is the Women of Troy book half price if I buy the Silence of the Girls? And they said, unfortunately, it's not about, but they said, if you want it, we can do it this once. So they half priced me the Women of Troy, which was very nice of them. So I'm actually have a Waterstones card. I shop at Waterstones, so I buy my little boy books and toys, and buy myself books and things. So yeah, so if you are interested in this video, please give it a like and thumbs up. If you're interested in subscribing to hear from me, do subscribe, guys. And I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope this gives you an insight if you are interested in the Silence of the Girls and the Women of Troy. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.